Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. One of the beautiful things nature gave to Nigeria as a country is abundant resource of the sea. We are nearness to water, and of course, giving rise to seaport. But shockingly, it has not been maximized, especially in some sectors, in some regions. A typical example is the southeastern region. The port that ought to be up and running seem not to be, but of course the southwestern region seem to be having a field day. In fact, the congestion and traffic is boggling, mind blowing. But as we speak, there seem to be a lot of information reaching us that there seem to be strong plans to do the needful in the southeast. Don't forget that southeast have been marginalized in diverse ways, and they've actually been asking that the port be open so that they can import. One of the people that do a lot of investment when it comes to importation has always been in Igbo, the southerners, most especially. But unfortunately, they usually go through the route of Lagos State to get this done. But before we go to the newspaper to find out what the prominent northerners are now planning to do for the southeasterners, especially with the Biafra agitation getting stronger, the voice getting higher, we'd like you to subscribe to our channel if you have not done so already by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you see bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Well, Ishmael Yusuf, Managing Director of Inland Containers Nigeria Limited (ICNL), speaks on the effects of the economy on its business and its capacity to develop the Onitsha River Port if given opportunity as a second preferred bidder. He talked quite a lot. He talks looking into the issue of developing Onitsha seaport. He now said, they say, the bottlenecks that come with government bureaucracy. When government tells you that they are going to do something in 6 months, expect it to be done maybe in the next 1 year and a half. For government, there are lots of processes you must pass through. If that is not completed, you cannot be called upon to come for a meeting. On our part, we have done the bid and are waiting for the final decision of the government, that is for Onitsha River Port. A northerner is thinking of developing Onitsha Port. Let's continue. But for an investor who wants to invest in the east, you will consider proximity to Onitsha from Oba, which is just about 10 to 15 minutes drive. If you eventually get to Onitsha, we might not need to develop Oba Terminal any longer because it will amount to waste of money. So the outcome of Onitsha River Port will determine what will happen at the proposed Oba Bonded Terminal site. If the government gives us the go-ahead today, in the next 2 months, we will mobilize human resources and every other equipment required to do the job. Infrastructures are there already. We have cranes. What it will require is for us to move the ridge taker from Kaduna or Kano to the place. We have empty handlers. Government has provided crane. We already have a tarmac there. We have offices there also. All we need to do is buy furniture and computer equipment and start operation. For us, when government is planning to dredge the river port, we, as a bonded terminal operator, can start moving cargoes by road immediately until government finishes dredging. So what we will do is to start moving containers from Lagos, from Port Harcourt and Warri to the place on bond by road pending the time the dredging will be completed and the vessels will be able to get there. We are the pesetters when talking about the operation of bonding terminal in Nigeria. Okay, he said Inland Containers was the first to operate in the hinterland. Today, we also have Kaduna Inland Dry Port, a subsidiary of Inland Containers, as the first dry port to be commissioned by the federal government. Today, we are operating at a low capacity in the sense that there are lots of teething problems facing the company for now. Not that the company does not have the capacity to perform. For instance, if you say that a dry port is a port, everybody expects what is done at the seaport to be done there. But today we have not gotten shipping companies to buy into dry port, as whether they don't use They don't issue true bill of landing for import and export. The federal government is supposed to have made a policy on that through its representative, the Shippers Council, to codes that ports are supposed to have needs to be given. They are supposed to do that as an agency of the federal government. Also, rails need to be working for less or cheaper cost of transportation. That needs to be in place, not only for Kaduna inland dry port, but for all inland dry ports. If that is not there, any of the new dry ports coming up will still face the problems we have been facing till today. And talks about the success of Kaduna dry port, and this is what he got to say. He said, the success I can say that we have achieved at Kaduna Import Dry Port today is that we have been able to have a very good rapport with some of our stakeholders, especially the Nigerian customs. Okay. For the export, he said, in terms of export, the port manager has been doing a lot of work. All right, you have heard what he's saying. He's saying that what they replicated or what they did in Kaduna, they can replicate same in Onitsha. Honestly, when I went through online response over what this man proposed, the Igbos almost lambasted everything about him. And I was wondering, he said he wants to invest in Onitsha seaport. And if the government gives him the wherewithal, why not allow him? They were like, no, not now. Some of them, let's just hear what one or two comments made by some person, so you can give you a fair knowledge of what Indigbos are saying concerning this move by this northerner. This one here is saying, if we see you here near, if we see you near River Niger, we will carry you and feed you to the fish. Go and transform your tribe. We are not complaining at all. Did you hear what they're saying? This one here is saying, bro, na so you dey vex reach kada and kada. Abeg you no dey fear another I don't know, please. This one here say, go to the north desert and dredge your own pot. Leave our pot alone. I tell you, you can imagine what people are saying. He just wanted to, for goodness sake, he just said, okay, that he's seen potentials in the Onitsha seaport. If they can, dredge it, by all means, if they give him go ahead, because he's a bidder, he's an investor, that he will come down there. Don't forget, also in the same vein, CNG, that's Coalition of Northern Groups, had come up some hours ago saying that they have filed a suit suit in court, High Court, Abuja, that they should withhold the review of the constitution until Biafra referendum. I'm quoting them now. Biafra referendum. I'm paraphrasing what they said. Biafra referendum of Ndibos for just the 5 southeastern states should be taken so that they can go and leave Nigeria in peace. And that has generated a lot of reactions. And now this is another northerner saying that he's thinking of bidding and also dredging on the chassis port because they've seen a lot of potential. Which one do we now take? You can see now that we have diverse intentions in Nigeria. So it's quite a dicey one. But for somebody who's not even shaking over his investment, I guess he still believes in one Nigeria. Let's meet in the comment sections, please. What's your take? Do have